How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Talking Wolves. Hope you guys are keeping well and safe. And today we've got a brand new video for you. Going to be giving my thoughts and opinions on 10 strikers overall that Wolves could and should sign this January. Obviously, with the unfortunate absence of Raul Jimenez, I'm going to be looking at a certain number of players that could be brought in to replace him, at least on a short-term basis. I've said could and should because there's going to be 5 players that have been reported that the Wolves are interested in, and then there's going to be 5 players in between that I think Wolves should make a move to sign this January. But guys, today's video is sponsored by the guys over at BenQ. As you can see alongside me today, we're going to be using this for the video on the channel, and it's for the BenQ TK850, the brand new projector, the 4K HDR projector from those guys. There's true 4K UHD resolution with 8.3 million pixels. You've got HDR Pro technology for authentic HDR enjoyment in bright living rooms, dynamic iris, HDR brightness, and HDR10/HLG support. There's 98% Rec 709 coverage with ample brightness, and there's an immersive sports mode as well for audio-visual enjoyment, especially over this festive period where Wolves are going to be playing loads of football. The short throw projection with vertical lens shift for hassle-free installation, and I can tell you now, it's so easy to set up and install. Easy upgrade of BenQ 4K 1080p projector, so if you've already got one of those, then be sure to check this one out. As I say, I've never had a projector before, but this one, so easy, out the box, plugged in and set up nice and easy. But yeah, with loads of football going on over the festive period, this is one to definitely check out. So the first player we're going to be talking about today is Hulk, and this one is one that could happen. The first one of my reported strikers on this list. So Hulk has been linked with a move to Wolves pretty heavily over the last couple of weeks at least. But is it one that's going to happen? You'd think, ideally, with some of his previous links, he's played for Porto before as well. He's got a connection with some of the the people that Wolves deal with and some of the coaching staff and players. But is he the right man to replace Raul Jimenez? I mean, his stats suggest so. If you have a look at some of his goal scoring stats from especially his recent time in China, he scored 74 goals in 105 appearances over in China. However, one interesting thing about this signing is that the new transfer rules coming into effect in the Premier League from January, due to Brexit and some of the government rulings, some of the transfer rules are being tightened up very much so in the Premier League. So it's going to make it difficult for clubs, not just Wolves, but clubs to sign players from abroad. So that means this signing is unlikely, really. But you look at it, the new government regulations mean that any potential Premier League player must meet a points-based criteria to gain a work permit. These points are built up from a player's recent international experience, their game time at their previous club, and the league they are joining from. Because he's played in China, or playing in China currently, because he hasn't played for Brazil for about 4 years, for Hulk to get a work permit seems really, really unlikely. But it is a shame because I think he would have been a cracking player to join Wolves. Next up on my list of players, and this one is Wolves should sign, is Raphaellia. This man, as you can see right next to me just there, young Portuguese striker, currently playing for AC Milan over in Italy. Of course, he is a client of Jorge Mendes as well. And Wolves had been linked with him, or have been linked with him before. Most recently, in last summer, they were linked with him, and it's come out sort of more recently that it was because Wolves wanted to use him as a replacement for Diogo Jota. The thing with Raphaellia is that he's quite versatile. He can play on the left-hand side. He's been playing as a winger really predominantly for Milan this season, but of course can play up front as well. He scored 3 goals and 3 assists so far for Milan, with slightly restricted game time because he's had a couple of injuries as well this season. But Raphaellia is the first striker that I would recommend Wolves should take a look at this January. Next up is one that Wolves could sign, and it is Maxi Gomez from Valencia. Now, Maxi Gomez currently plays for Valencia over in Spain, and they're currently having a little bit of financial trouble there at the moment. So it seems like it could be the perfect time for Wolves to step up their chase in signing the Uruguayan striker. A number of clubs have been watching the 24-year-old for some time, including Premier League clubs He has only scored 3 goals this season, but he is still regarded one of the hottest prospects currently in Spanish football. So this is one that we could keep our eye on this January, because it seems a pretty viable move with the link between Wolves and Valencia. Obviously Mendes having previous air as well. It could be one that could genuinely happen this coming month. Next up on my list of players that Wolves should go for, and number 4 on the list is Divock Origi. He's a player currently obviously playing for Liverpool, and the Belgian striker has never really got consistent game time at the Reds. It was reported that Wolves were interested in him a couple of years ago, but he wasn't really interested in a move to Molineux at the time. But now with the absence of Raul Jimenez, it could be the perfect time to step up our chase to sign the Belgian forward. I think the only key obstacle in this is that the 25-year-old will keep one eye on Liverpool's fixture list. With some of their injuries they're having at the moment, of course, Diogo Jota's currently got injured, or recently got injured for Liverpool. He could be eyeing up a little bit more first-team football, especially in the Champions League, where he did so well for Liverpool a couple of years ago. Next up on the list of players Wolves could sign is Salomon Rondon, a player that has been linked with Wolves previously. I think it was last year, but again, this rumour has reignited, and Wolves apparently interested in signing the Venezuelan striker in January. Now, the ex-West Bromwich Albion striker has been playing in China, and of course his situation is slightly different to Hulk's because he's a regular international for Venezuela. He's a little bit younger, obviously getting a lot more game time, which means that he should be able to get a work permit to return to England. He had a pretty good record last time in the Premier League across his spells with West Brom and Newcastle United, and you know what, I think this could be a very, very decent option for Wolves to look at in January. Next up on the list of players that I think Wolves should sign is Josh King, currently playing in the Championship with Bournemouth. I say playing, he's struggling to get into that squad at the moment, probably due to the fact that his contract is up at the end of the season, and they're probably looking to move him on come January. A couple of Premier League clubs are looking at him, but I think, you know what, as a player to come in and probably be happy to sit as second fiddle once Jimenez returns, I think Josh King could definitely be a decent option. Got experience of many years in the Premier League, although never really prolific. I think he still adds a very decent option. Got that pace, that power, that acceleration as well. And yeah, I think he could definitely be a good option for Wolves if we look to sign him in January. Next up on the list is Kenan Karaman, probably one of the more underwhelming names on this list, no disrespect to him, but the 26-year-old is currently playing in the Zweite Bundesliga for Fortuna Düsseldorf. That's the second division in Germany. He has only scored 3 goals in 11 games this season, but reports from Germany were suggesting that the striker, the Turkish forward, could be moving to Wolves in January. He is out of contract at the end of the season though, so that might be why he's been linked. Just a little bit of agent talk to either get him a new contract or a move to another club. Next up on the list is Andre Silva. This is a player I think Wolves should go and look to sign in January. We all know of this guy. Wolves have been linked with him so much in the past, but it looks like he may well have finally settled. He's currently playing in Germany for Eintracht Frankfurt. And you know what? He's had a great season so far. He's scored 10 goals in 12 games in all competitions for the German side. He's in a hot form. And the ex-Porto striker at 25 years of age now, I think it is, it should be the perfect time to reunite him with Nuno. Next up on my list for Cuds is Reece Campbell from Stoke City. The young striker has had a good start to the season in the Championship. He was linked with a move to a couple of Premier League clubs, including Wolves, over the last month or so. But very, very recently, unfortunately, which probably puts a massive cross over this move straight away. He's literally just picked up a knee injury quite recently, unfortunately. So it looks like he could be out for the best part of the rest of the season, but it definitely would have been a capable and interesting replacement if Wolves were to move for him in January, but maybe one to keep our eye on in the future. And the final name on this list is Odsonne Edouard, the striker currently playing for Celtic. The Frenchman moved from PSG to Celtic back in 2017, and the 22-year-old talent has scored 9 goals so far this season. But because of Celtic's shaky start to the season, and now they're completely out of Europe, this could be the perfect time to jump on this opportunity. A lot of top clubs have been linked with Edouard in the past, but I think with his calibre and his talent, he's one of the hottest talents in Scotland at the moment. He could be one of those players to offer really good competition for Fabio Silva and Raul Jimenez and be another great option for Wolves in their squad this season. But guys, there we have it. That is the end of my strikers Wolves should look and, could and should sign. this January. If you've got any names of strikers that you liked on this list or any strikers that you think Wolves should make a move for realistically in January, let me know in the comments section down below. Be sure to hit that like button down below, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you're new as well. You can see alongside me here, although it may be flipped on your screen, some of the content that we've been producing more recently. Look, the support on this channel has been amazing over the last year or so, obviously coming to the end of the year. Obviously, we've got the likes of Ben Q supporting the channel, Football Prizes, One Football, like everyone supporting the channel as well, so it is amazing. And of course, you guys are the main people, you know, watching the videos, clicking like, hitting that subscribe button, so please carry on doing that, commenting as well. And yeah, look after yourselves, and I'll see you all very, very soon.